Good morning. For some of you, good afternoon. My name is Hiro Ortiz. My pronouns are she or he, or if you want to use they. I am identified as a non-binary person, so that's why you can use whatever pronouns you feel would suit me. I don't really have any request. So anyway, I was born in Japan and grew up in Japan. Now, probably many of you are aware, but the Japanese society values the conformity, meaning if you do something or even if you behave, if you look even slightly different from your peers, that is like a no-no. That's just the culture. Right now, I believe it is changing, but while I was growing up, that was that was a value that I had to live by, and because I was born and growing up in that environment, I did really not questioned. However, now when I look back, I believe I was a little rebellious, meaning I was looking for ways to be different because I was different. For example, um, when we went to school, a lot of schools in Japan require us to wear uniform. Now that is something I was not big fan of. The girls have to wear skirt, and the boys would wear pants. Now, because I was born female, I had to wear skirt, which I did not really like it. But to show a little bit of my side, sometimes now this was a little against the school rules, but I would have a non-matching socks. For example, one foot would have a red sock, and the other would have yellow sock. Now we are supposed to wear all white knee-high socks, and the rules were like that strict. But I'm like, you know what? I am different, and I was getting into trouble for that, but that was something just to show that I am not going to be the same as other people. Also, I was really into playing baseball, not the softball, but the baseball. Luckily, there was all girls baseball team in my town where I grew up, and my parents, actually my mom, signed me up for it, and I am just so grateful that she embraced me as the way I was and still the way I am. And thanks to that environment, thanks to my parents, I was able to thrive in that rather confining environment. Now, as I was getting older, I had to choose which universities to go to. And after the university, naturally, I would have to get a job. And I was familiar with the culture in the university and also the workplace. I decided that that was not my thing to go to school to further my education in Japan and also to get a job in Japan. So that was, I believe, that was the end of middle school years. Yeah, that's when I started thinking about my future. And again, my mom came to my rescue. She found a tiny, tiny ad in a newspaper about school in the United States that had an office in Tokyo, Japan, and that's actually where I grew up. And they were recruiting international students or Japanese students to attend university. So I jumped in the opportunity and registered, passed the test, went through some curriculum, and I ended up in school in West Virginia. Now, West Virginia is a very conservative state. However, the university was a little different. It was, I guess, recruiting students from all over the world. And now I believe that was a way for the school to make money, because they could charge so much money for international students. So it was very diverse, and I loved it. Although I did experience the first time discrimination, not against my gender identity, but because I was racial minority person. So anyway, but that's how I ended up in the United States. And now, being a member of racial minority group and also LGBTQ plus community, it helped me to be more aware and sensitive to some diversity, equity, and inclusion topics. And part of that, I believe, is because of my upbringing. I just was able to embrace the differences, and I had questions why I cannot be different, why this person is getting discriminated against uh, the other people. We in Japan, we have a lot of microaggressions. It's not obvious, but sometimes with the words, sometimes the attitude of others, you will know you are getting discriminated. So I have been always aware, but that's I just realized, oh my God, why am I so interested in this topic of, now it's a hot topic, diversity, equity, and inclusion, but always I believe that was in my heart. And so now I am very interested in the topics, and I try to make some contribution to that topic by going to a summit like this, talking to other people, facilitating the conversations. And it's not just about LGBTQ plus challenges, but also racial discrimination, also cultural competence. That's something else that I'm very interested because of my background.